Highway 395 in California's Eastern Sierra, a region bound with natural beauty and history, where the high desert clashes with rugged mountain peaks, and a place where you can truly enjoy the great outdoors. Welcome, this is the first of 5 videos from one of the nation's best road trip destinations, the Eastern Sierra. Coming up in this video, our day starts the best way possible with coffee and a soak in hot springs. It's time to go to town and hit the reset button. We're driving the famous June Lake Loop, and we score an amazing campsite perched above Mammoth Lake.
I'm Rebecca, and this is Ben. We're a couple of Alaskans with the dream of driving our expedition vehicle around the world. Unfortunately, COVID has closed international land travel, so we're making the most of things in our home country until the borders reopen. These films are produced with your support, the Outliers YouTube community. Click join on our channel for early video releases, exclusive content, increased engagement, and so much more.
Well, good morning from one of our favorite places, at least in the United States, lower 48. We're on Highway 395 in the Eastern Sierra. We're about to do one of our favorite things, soak in the hot springs at sunrise with a cup of coffee. The views here on the 395 are absolutely amazing. The Sierra over there, then you have this valley full of geothermal steam coming up, and then this little slice of paradise, a nice hot spring. Okay, so we weren't the first persons, check my pockets, okay, we're good, to come into the tub today. So a lot of times when we come down here first thing in the morning, somebody messed with the valve. And there is no scientific measure to the valve because it leaks from the boots, and when the valve is closed, it doesn't actually seal up. But I've been making sure to come down like 30, 45 minutes before we want to soak, just to make sure like the valve didn't get like all the way closed and it's cold water, or if it's like practically boiling water.
When we first got here, everybody was being super respectful of like, you have your pool time, we'll wait, then we'll have our pool time. And the last couple days, maybe not so much, not so considerate.
A lot more volume of people the past couple days, and it's weekdays too.
It is. We were actually kind of wondering if it had to do with the stay-at-home orders, like people got sent home from work, so they're going out camping, which is a good thing. Like, you can get out and be in nature and socially distance yourself, and regardless of what other people do, we just always only come down here when we're by ourselves and there's no potential for respiratory droplet exposure.
And hot springs are actually surprisingly safe.
Yeah, I think
so. You might want to throw that in.
That's true. They are, I think, between the minerals and the heat, I don't think we have much in the way of concern.
When it started getting busier, we don't have it, but I was mighty tempted to get some caution tape and print up like something on paper, because we carry a printer in the camper, COVID closure, and just run it between 2 bushes, but that'd be wrong. No matter how tempting it would be, like just a little caution tape, COVID closure, you know, type in some words like letters and numbers like INC.249 mandate or something. Make it look a little official, and then we'd have the entire place to ourselves. But that's not right.
We're done with our time here at this hot springs. Maybe there will be others in the future. Who knows? But we're going to enjoy our soak this morning, and then we'll hit you back up when we're on the road again.
The Sierra Nevada is a mountain range and 350-mile-long block of granite that separates Nevada's Great Basin and the Central Valley of California. Before we get too deep into this series of videos, let's clear up a very common mispronunciation. Calling it the Sierras or Eastern Sierras is wrong. The literal meaning of Sierra Nevada is snowy mountain range. Now there's only one mountain range, which makes the plural version of Sierra incorrect. Now that we've cleared that up, let's talk about geothermal activity, which can be found throughout the region. We have been camping in one of the largest calderas on the planet, which was formed after a volcanic eruption 760,000 years ago. In present day, that makes for a beautiful valley where groundwater heated by magma reaches the surface, thus creating hot springs. All right, we are cleaned up, packed up, and back on the road. Gonna make a trip to town, Mammoth Lakes, to reprovision because we've been kind of off grid for about a week, and it's good to top off the tank and top off the fridge before heading out on an adventure. I'm not exactly sure what all we're gonna be doing on this trip, so I'm not gonna promise anything because we do live in a COVID world, but our general objective is gonna be off grid and traveling Highway 395 area of the Eastern Sierra. Okay, second stop down. Fuel is done, and here at the Mammoth RV Park, nobody was here and nobody was answering the phones, but the facilities were open, so we just took a leap of faith and wrote a note and put $20 in it for use of their dump station, water, and trash. Yeah, Mammoth Lakes is a pretty cool little town. You know, if Beck and I ever chose to settle down in an area, definitely Mammoth Lakes would be pretty high up on the list. I'll call it a full service town in the sense of there's a hospital, there's a Safeway, well, Vaughn's, and CVS or a Walgreens. So aside from all that other stuff, it is just a very, very beautiful town. I guess they have churches here too.
Nothing better than church bells. Sounds so pretty. I think it's safe to say we are done with our reset day. We're back on the road, headed north on the 395, and it is breathtakingly gorgeous out here. Reset days, though, can be a little time consuming and wear on you a little bit, especially during COVID times, wearing the masks, washing your hands so much, and doing all the things you have to do. In addition to the fact that it's already kind of time consuming because we have to refill the tanks, dump the tanks, refill the fuel tank, get food, which we're buying probably more than we usually do because we're trying to go to the grocery store less often. So then we have to cram it all in the truck and find a place for it. But it's a beautiful view. It is a gorgeous day with a perfect blue sky, and we're gonna go start another adventure.
Okay, now it is time to take a little bit of a chance. And I say it's a chance because normally in the winter months the road is closed all the way through. But we're gonna attempt to drive June Lake Loop, which is probably one of the more scenic drives in the Eastern Sierra, and dare I even say, the West Coast. But the kicker is, will we be able to make it all the way through? The famed June Lake Loop was formed when Rush Creek Glacier split in two. One glacier went southeast only to terminate, the other turned north and fed water into Mono Basin. This region was first inhabited by the Mono people, a Native American tribe, but it was mining and water that ushered June Lake into the 20th century. Water proved to be quite valuable in the early 1900s as hydroelectricity and water for the city of Los Angeles was in high demand. By the 1930s, automobile touring was growing in popularity, and June Lake started to become a recreational destination and the resort town that it is today. After a short but beautiful 16-mile drive through the loop, we are back on the 395. Okay, well, I'm glad June Lake Loop worked out. Something that's not working out so much is the fact that there's a wind event happening this afternoon, and it's supposed to get pretty nasty, and it's just one of those things we've learned over the years in high-profile vehicles and traveling. The wind is a real bummer. It sucks, it ruins things, and if you have the ability to just stop and ride out the weather, do it. You're so much better off that way. We continue north, passing through the town of Lee Vining, and search for a campsite overlooking Mono Lake, which is known for its rock formations called tufa. Having a vehicle that can confidently travel down dirt roads once again works in our favor. Yeah, what do you think, honey?
This'll do.
This'll work?
Yup.
We are about 5 miles down a bumpy dirt road on the north side of Mono Lake, and this looks like it'll do. And we're even situated well for the wind coming from the west today, because our stove and our main heater, our favorite heater I should say, doesn't work well if the wind is blowing right into the exhaust, so this'll do. And there's also AT&T cell phone service here, which is always kind of nice. It's nice being off-grid, but it is kind of nice having it. Okay, before we get too settled for the evening, we're going to take our daily walk and bring you along with the GoPro. The tufa limestone formations are within a state park, which prohibits drone flights. So let's see how close we can get on foot.
Well, I think this is as far as we're gonna make it, because it just got marshy and frozen marshy, and the mineral deposits are just out there. So we almost made it, but it doesn't seem like a good idea to go out in frozen marshiness.
Okay, according to the app on Rebecca's phone, we've gone about 1.5 miles. Nice little stroll for an afternoon. Elevation's like 6,400 feet. Sand was soft. It was a lot of fun. This is horrible.
This is a lesson in science.
This is how plants spread their
seed.
Their seed, yeah. Attaches to mammals as they wander. Oh, this is futile.
Mine is not quite so bad. I got it right there.
That'll work. How's the rest of me?
It's not horrible.
Okay, it's 3:45, and this wind should be picking up right now, but there is no wind. Huh. That wind finally showed up, woke back up. It is 9 o'clock, and you really can't see anything, so I don't know why I'm even doing this. Coming up in our next video, we visit a Wild West ghost town, get fed up with bureaucracy, and venture down roads less traveled.
We always like to thank our Outliers community for supporting production of these videos. You guys are the best. Click join on our YouTube channel for early releases, exclusive content, increased engagement, and so much more.